He taketh with his eyes. Start. So they changed the fonts and stuff to be more themed like Final Fantasy XIV, which is a nice touch. See, this is a proper crossover right there. When you actually try to put in mechanics and try to give the overall vibe that the other game has. Okay, big hammer dude, that's got to be Ryozu, right? Because Ryozu loves fucking swinging his big ass hammer around. First thing that I want to look at is the friggin' size of the damn thing. Jesus Christ, he damn near reaches the ceiling. He reaches the friggin' ceiling. That's what's up. He will knock those stones down by himself and by mistake. Okay, instantly jumps over. No, Yoshi, no, man, you gotta be closer. Come on, get in there. A nice little shoulder charge action going on. Dude, he's so friggin' massive. Like, his size reminds me of Xeno'jiiva. People were saying he was smaller. Like, this is Xeno'jiiva's size. The only difference is he doesn't have the wings. And he's fatter than Xeno'jiiva. Xeno'jiiva, well, not fatter, let's say thicker. Look at the damage numbers. Just like Final Fantasy. You get the damage numbers like Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. That's cool. I don't know what the Japanese characters are. I'd like to know what that means. The characters next to the numbers. Vulnerable to para. Very vulnerable to para. We got a Lancer in front. He's hitting the head, which I believe people were saying that hitting him in the head increases enmity. Yep, there's the enmity line. That's a new mechanic from Monster Hunter World, but that is a mechanic that anyone that plays Final Fantasy XIV will be familiar with that specific mechanic. Nice. You got a little blast proc action going on there. But see, this is a really cool thing. The fact that you can actually have enmity, it almost makes me wish that this was a thing for more monsters, because I really wanted to do like a tanking set, a proper tanking set. This was one of the things when I started playing Lance. This is one of the things that was very frustrating for me, was like, look, dude, I could make this amazing Lance tanking set, but there's nothing in the game other than, what is the mantle, the aggro mantle, that nobody uses. There's nothing in the game that can actually ensure that a monster stays on you, and that's a specific mechanic for this. And kind of like, look, everybody else, they're just free to do damage all they want. There's a massive tail swipe right there. It's calling down meteors on top of the tank. Tank doesn't seem to be taking that much damage. So long as you're a decent Lance user, but I think the Lance is definitely a weapon that is going to shine very much in this encounter. Get him, Yoshi. Yoshi's trying to get that tail chop. He's working that tail. He's like, no, we got to get a tail chop. I want to see what that tail chop looks like. The tail swipe. The damage is actually very low. Like, I don't know if they purposefully like reduced the damage, because I was listening to people say, oh, he's so hard, people aren't even being able to damage it, not to damage, but people aren't even being able to finish the quest in QA. And it's like, look at this is not that much damage. So maybe the damage is mostly because of the one shot and people aren't being able to handle that. I don't know. Boom! Another rock to the head. He still seems to be going on strong, though. Moving areas. Recommended Lance build, Rurikhan. I took a break from the game after 150 hours, but I'm coming back to want to give Lance a go. I can show it to you once we go into gameplay. We'll be doing gameplay in this stream in just a bit here, after we take a good look at this. What do we got going on here? I wonder if you can mount him. Oh, that's a cool attack, like follows you around. See, the cool thing about that attack is that, oh, that's the famous comment that you have to use for line of sight. So he has a massive AoE attack that you can't dodge, you can't avoid in any way. You can't even use whatchamacallit, the thing that teleports you back. Can't even use Farcaster. But if you stand behind that boulder, that is going to protect you. However, that means that your tank needs to move the monster away from the boulder. There's a tail chop. There's the tail chop, very nice. But it means that whoever has enmity needs to move him away from the boulder in order to prevent the boulder from getting breaking. Enmity is basically aggro, except they call it enmity in Final Fantasy XIV. Anyone who's played an MMO knows what aggro is. Boom! Or anyone who's married knows what aggro is. There's also that. What? Tank, what are you doing back here? Come on! Oh wait, he's got... Oh snap. Is that the friggin' whirlwinds from... Oh no. Those are the whirlwinds from Kushala. Boom! Someone just died. Someone was trying to tank him, and they did not have the required... Oh, Yoshi P! Yoshi P got meteored down. Quick, give this man an ancient potion. Give this man an ancient potion. Is he lost? He doesn't know what to do. Poor guy. There we go. Ancient potion. It's okay. You're good, Yoshi. Get back in there. There's the enmity line again. I really love that mechanic. Like, I love the fact that you'll be able to actually tank a monster in this game, because I love that. That's going to allow me to just really friggin' focus on doing a super mega tank lance build that actually has a purpose. Because like I was saying, like I did a really tanky lance build when I started using lance, and then I was just like, well, there's really not much point to it because there's no way for me to guarantee aggro, but if you can do it in this encounter... That's one big ass tail. You could carve a lot of steaks out of that. I like his enrage visuals as well. Looks really cool. Boom, another meteor. I haven't actually seen this video all the way, so I don't... Oh, there's a mount! So you can mount him, unlike, what's his face? Unlike Xenojiva. That's cool. You need to get out of that head. You're going to get knocked down. And you're not going to be able to knock him down if you keep going like that. Get out of the head. Just get out of the head. No, Yoshi. You had to move out of that head. You're not going to... It looks like it's going to be very hard for you to maintain your grip. I mean, it's usual for these big monsters to make it hard on you to do that kind of stuff. Was that a dragon? That was a dragon. Dragon ammo just flying by. Is that the big one? That's the big one. That's the big one. Run, Yoshi. Hide. Boom. And they all survive. Okay, I'm surprised by one thing. Considering that the floor is all scorched and red, shouldn't they be taking like fire damage and stuff? I think that could have been a part of the meteor, but I don't know. Maybe that would make it too hard. Behemoth is going to be a permanent monster in Monster Hunter World, yes. There's not going to be an event. There might be events surrounding it, but I believe that the intention is that he will become a permanent Monster Hunter, permanent monster in the Monster Hunter World. Wow. Another para. You've gotten 2 paras off in, I don't even know how long. I like his eyes. You guys see his eyes? He's got like those vicious predator eyes. And I mean predator as in predator in nature, like a tiger or something like that. They busted up one of the horns. Ooh, nice. Is that dragon damage that he's dealing? Would that apply Dragon Blight? Like, that'd be cool if he would apply Dragon Blight.
ダメよ落ちたら。10年前と同じことになるよ。
そうまた言われるから。
He's got enmity.
一回落ちたからね俺。
コメント。はい。
Wait a second, he had enmity. Oh yeah, he had enmity, but he's not in melee range, so it appears that if you're not in melee range, you will keep ranging people down.
コメントの方に行ったらダメです。
So you probably want to be in melee range if you're tanking. But Kaname over there is taking way too long to get back on that head and poke it. Kaname, you need to be poking that head, dude. You're the tank. This is not Monster Hunter. This is Final Fantasy 14, bro. You got to tank. You got to get the enmity off the greatsword user. Come on. Get it done. This is going to be pretty tricky, I think, for random groups to do. Depending on how good each individual is in the group, but I think you'll definitely want to have a tank because it will make the fight a whole lot easier, depending on how much hit points he has. I mean, they're coming up on 15, not 15, but they're coming up at least they're probably 10 minutes of fight at this point. Who's got aggro? I can't really see. Holy crap. Those meteors look badass. I wonder if players themselves can break the meteors, because there's going to be a whole lot of people trolling groups that are trying to do this by breaking those friggin' meteors. I can see it now. Sticky ammo? Come on, dude. You're better than that. Or was that slashing? That might have been slashing. Ooh, nice. Nice, Ryozu. Right in the face. In the face. In the face. What else you got going on there? Okay, I'm not sure we needed to see that specific attack. You were trying to basically... Yeah, laugh it off, laugh it off. Jesus, so many friggin' meteors in here. There's a lot of LO sight for you guys to hide behind, that's for sure. I wonder if he has like a set... Oh, you're trying to get this stuff broken to show to people. There you go, he broke it. Did he break it, or did he just like shatter it a little bit? They appear to be really resilient, so it's not like one random hit is going to break them down. There you go. Looks like it's about 3 to 4 hits on the meteor will break it down, so long as you're able to move him away from the meteor. Oh, there's a bleed! There's the bleed! And it's like some kind of a special attack where he grabs you and bleeds you. It looks like they were running some kind of a support character in there with the... Oh, snap. You boys better run. Ryozo's not going to make it. Ryozo got his ass staggered and blown up. I'm not sure if you can survive the giant meteor with temporal mantle. Like, this is the first time I'm watching this footage. I'll definitely test it out once the monster comes out. I figured that if you can't use a Farcaster, I don't think they're going to allow you to get away with it with the temporal mantle. Also, you got the Final Fantasy 14 music. I hadn't listened to it yet. Because, you know, I had to take this away because I kept hearing him speak Japanese and I couldn't even focus on what I was saying. But yeah, this is the typical music that you would get in like a Final Fantasy dungeon. I should just start playing Final Fantasy 14, that's what I should do.
いや、俺がニールストーンも来てる。ニールストーンもいいとこ置いてね。えらいとこ置いてもうた。邪魔やろこれ。嘘。
I'm just so far away from actually the end game of that game.
敵取りにくいですね。嫌なとこに置いてるね。
一回眠らせますよ。
はい
お願いします。眠らせました。
Not to mention that, as someone who plays it, oh, they put him to sleep.
でその後
They're gonna sleep bomb him.
頭
Dirty tricks.
お願いします。
We approve. He's still got his eyes open. Come on, close the poor creature's eyes. He's like sitting there sleeping with his eyes open. Does the behemoth sleep with his eyes open? I don't know that much about Final Fantasy lore.
じゃあ僕やりますよ。はい。
What the hell kind of a wake up was that? You have a great sword user there. You have a hammer user there. Have one of them wake him up. Wow, he's bouncing with white sharpness. You guys see him bounce with white sharpness right there? And he's got like a full Lunastra set, so he shouldn't be bouncing. He should have like Mind's Eye, natural Mind's, not natural, but I don't know if he's got full Lunastra. He probably doesn't. It's like 4-piece Lunastra gives you Mind's Eye,
本当やめて本当。
which my lance set has, by the way, 4-piece Lunastra.
やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい藤岡さん俺んとこに来んといて俺が狙われることになるから
I gotta be honest. Just looking at the footage, he does not seem that hard as people have been painting him. Like he seems challenging for sure. Does not seem as hard as I've seen him painted though. Oh,
すごく場所が限られちゃっ
for a second there, it almost looked like he was going to the next stage of Enrage. We're past the 15-minute mark on this
た。
encounter.
自分でヒールしてください。
オッケー
ダメだ。うわやばいやばいやばいやばい。
これクリアできんちゃうマジで
いけるかもしれないですね。
でもあと1落ちやねやばいやばいやばい
やばいっす
やばいやばい油断した油
I
断
think
した
that a really good weapon to have in this encounter is going to be the Insect Glaive. Insect Glaive, Charge Blade. Those are going to be very exceptional. I think the hammer in particular... I think the hammer in particular is not going to be very effective because hammer excels at smashing stuff in the head.
コメント。
And if you're a hammer user, you're going to want to hit the head. But if you hit the head of the behemoth,
使い差しめる子。
you're going to get aggro, so you'll have to tank. And the hammer, not really a weapon that I would want to use as a tank,
ヒール
personally.
ください。
あちょっと待ってよ
ヒールください。ヒールください。ヒールくださ
I
い。
mean, depending on how good you are, of course. I mean, if you're really, really good at hammer, you could just like dodge your way through most of the stuff and then smack his face nonetheless. But basically, if you're not hitting the head with the hammer,
りょうさんじゃない。
I don't think it's particularly useful for this fight. It will still exhaust him, so there's that.
あかんってだからやめろ。
Because if you hit with the hammer on the body, it still exhausts.
お前しかもミールストームや
So it's not completely useless, but it takes away a lot of the usefulness of the hammer, in my opinion. Dude, I really don't like those friggin' Kushala or
ヒールヒールヒールヒールヒール。
whirlwinds, but it doesn't seem like he does them with as much frequency as Kushala, so we might be fine there.
うわーアイテム補充してくの忘れた
なんで力尽きたのにしないんですか。
やべえこれやばいぞ
コメントの位置確認しといてくださいよ。
Ooh, right in the hind legs.
敵士取りたいです。
Right in the hind legs.
もう一回来たいが竜巻の中
Right in the scrotum.
僕です。
You are vicious, Yoshi.
足置きました。コメント。
I really do like that effect of it following the player around.
オッケーオッケー
違うってだから。
It's such an MMO thing, you know, to see those big tells coming up before an attack comes out, the telegraphs.
藤岡さん敵士取りたい。あ俺取っちゃうこれ。取っちゃいますよこれ。
Behemoth counts as an elder
や
dragon.
ばいぞみんな
無理か。
あ拾ってる
取った。ナイス。ナイス取った。俺ミールストーム囲まれてる。
やばいやばい
Those roars are going to be annoying, but if you are tanking, you should be able to counter most of them.
もうちょい内側行く。
And if you are tanking, his movements should be more predictable, which should enable you to block most of the stuff. Ooh.
ちょっと僕の
やばいやばいやばいやばい。よっしゃヒールヒールして隠れてていいからヒールして。
Rio's is like, yeah, heal, heal, heal. I'll just stand right here.
急に安全策に。
You can get staggered during Meteor. Oh, yeah. Ryozu died earlier
よ
because
く
of
見て
that.
るよ見えてるよ戦況は見えてる
戦況は
ダメージ与えないと勝てないですよ
このまま
応援は
ジリー
してる応援はしてるよ
Wow, you guys are really scared of that big bad meteor.
やばいな
Are both horns broken?
よっしゃ
やばい
隠れててよかった
やばいやばいやばい俺やばいんちゃうかどっちやどっち
ここへこここここ
どこ
こ
どこ
やばいよおいよかったやった
What? But they were behind it. Oh no, they killed him.
最後なんだなんでやったあれは
Oh, they actually killed
なんでやったん
him?
でしょうね
やったよ
これちょっとでも
Wow.
あれクリア画面見ました
I gotta be honest, I expected them to fail. Because, you know, that would be the thing to do, but they actually killed him. It didn't seem that hard.
今完全安全
Was this like a nerfed version or something?
いや
がっちりそう生きてるからね
ハギ取りだけ行く
I don't forget to switch my mantles. I just take too long
して
to
て五分五分
work in an
そうです
opening.
ねまあ良三さん次第なところはあったんですけどいやーよかった
これ行きま
I don't know. I gotta be honest, because like the whole rumors.
So grossly incandescent.
Shark the God, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat to you, sir. Appreciate the support.
あーよかった
It's like the rumors that I was hearing was that he was so hard that the QA team was getting in trouble trying to beat it, and you know, it didn't seem that hard.
こういうのも全部
すげえちゃんと14のコンプリートフォー
So I don't know. That's a really cool ending scene, by the way. 20 minutes and 16 seconds.
大体この絵になる
See, they even killed him in a very reasonable amount of time.
いやーよかった
Like 20 minutes is not that bad.
おめでとうございました。
But that is awesome. That is friggin' awesome. I'm super pumped for that fight. Like, I really wanted a fight where you could actually try out doing tanking things. Like, that's very interesting for me, and I really want to work out some kind of really crazy lance build that will allow you to just basically tank him all day long, almost AFK. But, yeah, it's a really cool fight. And it's pretty much a first for Monster Hunter to actually bring in a monster, a whole new monster from another franchise into the game. At least as far as I'm aware, it's pretty much a first, which is really, really cool. I'm super pumped for this fight. I can't wait for it. The tactics like enmity, the LOS behind the meteors, all of that stuff seems super interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty much sold. Bring it on.